Welcome back to another episode of That's What's Up. I'm Ken Edwards. Today we got another amazing guest. University of Colorado scoring leader his freshman year. He's actually Hall of Fame at the University of Colorado. 10-year overseas pro. And even better than that, just a nice-ass dude. Welcome to the show, Richard Roby. What's up, man?
Man, doing good, brother. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Man, thank you for having me.
Shit, man. Well, let's get straight to it. From SoCal?
SoCal, San Bernardino.
San Bernardino. All right. So I want to just jump right into the good stuff. So I've talked to Gilbert Arenas. He's a Valley guy.
Yeah.
Valley guy, right?
Well, Inland Empire.
Okay.
Inland Empire.
But what's the difference between Inland Empire hoops and like LA City hoops?
Okay. I would say because LA get all the pub, it's the center of everything. I think if you're in the Inland Empire, you always kind of fight for that position, fight for that recognition. So it's a little more gritty to kind of, compete with those guys to prove that we better than them. So I think it was always that, that wanted to prove something thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you feel like you had that uphill battle, that fight?
I think we all did, so it was always kind of personal when we did go against the LA guys or, people from that area. We wanted to kind of, make a name for where we was from because nobody really know where we at. Nobody, it's just something that people just drive through. So we wanted to make a name for our city and our area down there. So we had a lot of pride down in the IE.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you held up?
Yeah, I think I did, Obviously, I ended up leaving early to get, go to prep back east, so I didn't get a chance to kind of do my high school career there, which really kind of would have solidified things. But, when I go back home, they know what's up.
They know what's up.
Yeah.
And that'd be the most important thing, like the respect factor.
Absolutely.
Like, as long as your peers respect you, the stats don't even really matter.
For sure. It's a small city, so people really know, you know what I mean? So they do their research. They kind of understand. And, they're always looking for like a hero or somebody to kind of look up to in that area. So,
So small town San Bernardino, what was that like growing up in that city?
That's a good question. That's all we knew. I really didn't know much until I actually left. But looking back at it now, it was just a small city. Kind of got ugly for a while. All the gangs from LA started moving down to San Bernardino, and they got cracking down there. So it was like, we knew that was happening, and that's one of the reasons why I ended up going to prep because my mom kind of seen things going that way, and people that were talented wasn't making it, so she wanted to look for other options, for me and my brother to kind of get out of there.
Yeah. So you turned out to be an amazing hooper. As a kid, when did you know like you had a gift? Did you play other sports growing up?
Nah, just hoops. Not nothing organized, but my pops played college ball, so he kind of put the ball in our crib, and it was just me and my brother's thing. We just grew up competing against each other, and we always had in our mind that we was good. And then when we started actually playing against other people our age, it started, we knew we had something different.
What did you notice?
Just like, we just had a higher IQ for the game. It's something we just loved to do. We would do it all day, you know what I mean? So we just started building those instincts early, no trainers, nothing like that. Just, just competing, trying to, me just trying to go at my brother to prove that I'm better than him.
I'm happy you brought up trainers because I hate them. I ain't going to say I hate them.
Right.
Let me retract that.
Yeah.
I don't hate them. I think they have a place.
Right.
But we just played 21, one-on-one, 3-on-3.
Right.
We just hooped.
Yeah.
Where your stance on like the drills and versus like just go outside?
Yeah. I mean, you get better by competing. You put yourself in game action. There's so much training that's going to translate. It is important. It's something you probably got to do now. But you're right. Playing games like 21, you get so many skills. You got to learn how to rebound. You got to learn how to score. You got to learn how to go against help defense. You know what I'm saying? Start doubling you.
Especially when you get to 19.
Yeah, exactly.
You get to 19.
Now if you playing tip, you got to make your shot or you can go back to 11. So, you get a lot of things, and I think that's missing in the game for sure.
Yeah. It's definitely a place for them.
Yeah.
But I just wish kids would just go back outside.
Yeah, that part.
Were there any other guys in the Empire at that time that was kind of giving you a run for your money, or you could size yourself up? Or did you have to go all the way to L.A. to get a good run?
Just playing AAU, I played for Kool-Aid. Y'all know if you know Kool. He ran the inland program. So he had a lot of good guys all the time. So we had like one team and a two team. The two team was the younger team. And on the one team, they had dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like at least 12, like all 12 players going D1. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I started to like, you know what? I'm here in San Bernardino, but you look at the overall bigger picture, I got to get better. And, one of my guys, one of my personal friends who actually live in Vegas, Antoine Wright, was kind of like he was my guy growing up. We went to the same middle school. We played YMCA, everything. So I kind of followed in his footsteps, and he went back east first, and then he kind of brought us after that. Kind of gave us the plug to come out there.
Okay. So this is junior high.
Right.
You got the In the Empire team.
Right.
Is Compton Magic still running stuff?
At that time, it was like Rockfish, SoCal All Stars was good. They were definitely up there, but it wasn't like the team at that time.
Okay,
yeah.
I don't remember AAU back then being like what it is now, though.
Right.
I felt like each city, like in the Empire, which is multiple cities, but y'all had y'all dominant team.
Exactly.
Compton got the Compton Magic.
Right.
Oakland got the Oakland Soldiers. Now I feel like every city got like 10 teams.
Oh, yeah, it's a big business, man. Basketball is a big business. So if people see an opportunity to go out there, they know people want to hoop, they know people want to, compete. So that's what you're seeing.
I feel like it's in some regards. Now, there are good programs, but some regards I be feeling like they pimping the kids.
Well, it depends on, for sure. It can be like that, but if it's about you really developing players, develop them as people, I'm for it. But, at the end of the day, America is a business, so people got to find a way to get it.
It is. So you get to high school and you go to Cajon.
Yeah.
How was your freshman year? What was that?
So my freshman year, we had a coach named Coach Lehman, who was the varsity coach for a long time. Ended up coaching freshmen coming back. He actually coached a dude named Lou Kelly at Cajon, who live here. That's Lou Kelly from San Bernardino as well too. Shout out to
Lou cold though.
Bro,
Lou like
cold.
45. Lou like almost 50 years old.
Yeah, hooped against Lou last week. He had like 9 threes. Like he's still able to hoop.
Cold, and he moved like a sloth. Like,
nah. He can't.
He just get to his spot,
right.
Put his shoulder on you, and hit that fadeaway left.
Exactly.
That's crazy. Man.
So Coach Lehman had us on there. We had a good team, man. We went 26-0.
Damn.
And we went 26-0. Honestly, I just remember, I thought about it. I lost one game my middle school and in high school when I was in San Bernardino.
That's crazy.
3 championships. My 6th grade year was we played against Tyson Chandler. We beat them in the chip.
Y'all beat Tyson Chandler?
Tyson, dude was 6'10" in the 8th grade, man, dunking on us. Yeah. Probably like 30 blocks. But we ended up getting them. After that, that's when he kind of moved out to Compton and, started doing things at Dominguez.
Dominguez is cold.
Oh, yeah.
Dominguez got like they tradition.
For sure. I remember watching them just warm up.
Yeah.
I'm like, you got to get there early just to watch them dunk and do all that stuff in the warm-ups, man.
I saw Kenny Bruner when he was a senior, and I'd never seen a human being move so quickly. On a basketball court and just him and Jason Thomas. And,
Modern day was cold back then, too. Yeah,
Shea Cotton.
Yep. Man, Shea was tough.
Yeah, Shea came up to the Coliseum in the state championship against Fremont in Oakland, and they went head-to-head. One of Fremont guys hit a half-court buzzer beater to tie it and send it in overtime. But Shea was a freshman, had 30 in the state championship. Man, people ain't doing that.
No. Only person I could say that from the IE that was really killing like that I seen, a dude named Andre McGee.
I don't know him.
Dre he went to Canyon Springs, one of my best friends, man, but he was cold. I seen You know how people had the Shaq flu?
Yeah.
They used to have the Dre flu.
The Dre flu?
Like, it was an ABCD camp. Like, all the top point guards would make sure that they did not play against him at the camp.
What year was this?
This is he's a year younger than me, so he's like 07 to 09 or 07, 05 to 09.
Okay.
So he ended up, they went to the Final Four down there. He went to Louisville. Won the national championships as an assistant coach down there too.
Okay.
So
dang, I don't remember that.
Yeah, he was a freshman giving out 40 like nothing.
That's crazy. Big dude or guard?
Nah, guard, 5'10". His brother was my point guard at Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah. He's one of the reasons I ended up going to Colorado.
All right. Yeah. So now this is where the story get interesting. You did Cajon your freshman year. What was the conversation? How'd you end up in prep school? Because most of the time, at least from what I remember, prep school is more like your junior, senior year.
Right.
I only know a handful of guys that did it after their freshman year.
Right.
So how did that conversation come about and you end up out there?
Man, Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid had all the guys out there. So it was like a thing that you kind of wanted to look into. Back then, they used to send you a videotape. So they sent us a videotape of the school, and I'm like, damn, look at the trees. They got grass. Like, looks nothing like San Bernardino.
Right.
So, Antoine was already out there with one of my other friends. Alvin were there, too. So they were kind of hyping us up, to come out there. Me and my best friend Sylvester from San Bernardino as well. We both went out there together. You know, the rest was history.
So, where were you at?
I was at Lawrence Academy.
Lawrence Academy,
Yeah.
okay. And what state is that?
That's in Massachusetts.
That had to be a culture shock.
Oh, man, I never been past Vegas. I never been on an airplane before I got there.
Me neither.
So when I got off the airplane, I thought they was driving me back in time. I'm like, look at these cottages, and I'm like, yo, where are y'all taking me? Because it don't look like it's a place I need to be.
Was it an all-boys school?
Nah, we had girls.
Okay, because I know like Oak Hill is all boys.
Right,
and then
yeah.
like there's a girls' school like miles away. But
Yeah, my older brother Paul went to an all-boys school in Connecticut in Salisbury. Him and a couple guys from Kool-Aid team as well. He hated it down there. He didn't last too long down there, to say at least.
How often, or when was so you land there, how soon until you got homesick and was like, man, I can't do this?
A couple days.
Yeah.
And then you didn't have cell phones, so I had to use a calling card.
Yeah.
And with a calling card, it's like 90 numbers you had to call on the payphone. So I was calling my mom every night. Like, man, I remember one time I was like, Mom, I gotta come home. She was like, nah, just get through the night. I promise it's gonna be worth it. This, and that. And you know, it don't last forever. Right. But I do remember them homes.
Bro, it happens to everybody.
Oh yeah.
It happens to everybody. It did. So that happens. You get homesick because you have no friends there.
Right.
But then the coach switches up on you. The coach that shows up in practice ain't the coach that recruited you.
Absolutely.
At least attitude-wise.
Oh, 100%. That was in college for sure. High school, they knew we were young and they knew we had to it was going to be a hard transition for us. So they kind of were easier on us in that sense. But, it was to me, it was one of the biggest blessings that I had, man, being able to do that and to be in that environment because it's just, it let me know what the world really was and what's out there, kind of stretched my vision in a sense.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Who were some of the better guys that you played against?
Out there?
Yeah, in the prep school. Because the prep school the talent gets spicy.
Nah, for sure, man. You go against, especially like the top ones, 12, 13 D1 players on one team. I remember we played Winchendon. They had a 7'3" dude that didn't even touch the court. And he was already signed to a good school. They had Francisco Garcia was on that team.
Okay, I remember him.
Dude named Mike Jones, he was All-American at Maryland. He was I remember we played against him a lot of times at the prep. I'm trying to remember some of the other guys. Rashad McCants was out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was he balling back then?
No, he was cold. He was in high school. He was for sure a name. You know what I'm saying? He was for sure a name because obviously All-American going North Carolina. And he had a lot of buzz. We never played against his team, but we just remember his name and watching him play out there. And he was always strong and stocky, so he was always able to kind of do his thing out there. So
he's in the media now, but he was really good in high school. He was really good in college. I think his pro career got derailed a little bit. Right. He says he was in a bad situation, but it's tough to make it to the league. That's already the 0.01%, and then to make it be good in that is.
For sure.
It's like hitting the lottery.
Absolutely. I played against him in the G League actually one time. He was on the Texas Legends for a little while when I was on Rio Grande. So you got a chance to compete against him up there.
Now, when you got to prep school.
Gave him some work, you know what I'm saying?
Talk about that.
No.
There's no need to.
That's easy to look up, but,
Let's not look it up. Let's just hear about it.
We ended up. I always had good games against Texas Legends for some reason, but I think he was coming off an injury. He wasn't really he was guarding me all that. He guarded me a few times, but it was fun to compete against him out there. He didn't really like that type of defender anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like in college I always got the top defenders. You know what I'm saying? So I always knew who was a great defender. He was more offensive player, so he wasn't really defensive minded. Okay. He was really just trying to.
How much did you give him?
I think I like 27, something like that.
Damn.
Maybe some around that range.
Damn, that's it. I admire hoopers, dog, because I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm like, how do y'all get so good at putting that ball in the basket? That's a lot of hours. So when you were at prep school, how long does it take for you to realize, like, damn, I could do this? Because were you hesitant, or was you kind of not like hesitant, but like you don't really know where you fit in? You going into a broader scale?
Yeah. Honestly, it took some time. You know what I mean? So my freshman year, I didn't really play. I didn't start. I played a good amount of minutes. Sophomore year, kind of, was sharing time. Starting some games, and then junior year, that's kind of really where things kind of started. I could really do this. It's something I could really take it to the next level.
What was the moment?
Man, when I was playing against Mike Jones that year, he was an All-American. He was a senior, and I was a junior. And I just, in my mind, I just was way better than him.
Wow.
I went out there in my junior year, cooked them, and I was like, you know what? I know I could play high major basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Was it that your body was filling out? Was the game slowing down? Was it just the reps in the gym?
I think it was, I always was like short and small growing up when I played. I didn't have a lot of athleticism. I was shorter, so I had to learn how to be crafty. And then my junior year, I got my height, my athleticism started kicking in, so I already had the craftiness to be able to kind of do the things without the athleticism. So I think that's what kind of took me to the next level.
Okay. Now the fun shit starts to happen. What was recruiting like? Because that's always the fun part.
Yeah. Back then it was like, you used to get them letters in the mail. It was like, man.
But it always start off, dear student athlete.
Right.
Then it start off, you might get your name.
Yeah.
Then it's the handwritten.
Bruh, that's when you know.
That's when you know.
Man, I remember getting my first letter, Iowa. You know what I'm saying? That was the first letter I got. Then when it started getting fun my junior year, because USC, I don't know who they had write these handwritten letters. They just send me like 90 letters a week, like a big stack this big with all like, marker writing.
Right.
Like, Richard, come to USC.
Right.
Like, so you check my mailbox at the prep school just every day to see what letters was in there.
Hell yeah.
And every week I have like a stack of letters still in my house. My mom still, I didn't even open probably 90% of them.
Yeah.
But, that was the fun part, man. And then, just kind of seeing who was really serious about, bringing you out there. Plus, he got game came out then. Woo! So we had like an unfair image in our mind of what college business was, man. So it was like, I can't wait for this. But it was like, it wasn't like that for sure.
For you.
Not for me. I should have took some more visits. You know what I mean? That's one of the regrets. I didn't use all my visits. I still regret that to this day. But yeah, my visits wasn't like that at all.
We'll talk about it off camera. Yeah. Now, growing up, did you have like a college that you idolized that you wanted to go to?
UCLA.
UCLA? Okay.
UCLA. And they called me one time. They were like, man, after ABCD camp, ended up making the All-Star team my senior year. And that was like probably the best ABCD camp there was. Probably 9 dudes went straight out of high school.
Who was there?
Dwight Howard, Josh Smith, J.R. Smith, Sebastian, Sean Livingston, man, Darius Washington. It was crazy. So I ended up making the All-Star game there, and then my stock just kept jumping up.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like in the middle, mid-major, like some. But after that, that's why I started getting the high major looks from that. Because Sebastian was on my team. Sebastian and Glenn Davis, we was all on the same team.
Yeah.
So we had 4 players on our team make it to the All-Star. They actually shut down the court when we played Sean Livingston. It was so they can watch Sebastian and Sean Livingston. And I think I had like the first 16 points of the game.
Damn. How did you get the ball? Well, Sebastian kind of like a pass point guard. Yeah.
And I ended up,
because the All-Star games, boy, if you don't get it off the glass.
No, I didn't get but probably 2 shots in the All-Star game. I remember Dwight Howard yelling at me for the ball. That's the time I touched it, he yelled at me. Passed it to that big dude, let him do his thing, man. So, but yeah.
That's crazy. So, you wanted to go to UCLA.
Yep.
The recruiting is happening. Who's like out the gate just on you, like, we got to have you?
I think Colorado was the first school to offer me a scholarship.
Okay.
Right after ABCD, they offered me a scholarship. And then Iowa State was probably the two major ones I could think of. And there's some other schools that was, trying to, but I really wasn't taking them too serious.
No, UCLA wasn't?
Nah, they never they called me, but they never really recruited me. They was like, we want to watch you some more, da-da-da-da-da. I think some phone calls was made behind the scenes.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying? That kind of put a. You know what I mean? You never know. You get older, you kind of can see the what's going on behind the scenes.
But what you think happened? What was the situation?
It just, it didn't make sense for the people that wanted me to go to certain schools.
Was it
it's
like
before NIL, but NIL was still kind of happening. We don't know, So we was after.
So basically, UCLA's check wasn't large enough.
Maybe we'll say. Well, maybe that's what I think.
What was the Roby?
Or they probably didn't even want to give him no money. They already had Aaron Afalo and all kind of other dudes.
Okay,
at the time,
was that like Collison and all them?
Yep, Collison was there. They already had a great recruiting class. Okay. Josh Shipp, was a good wing they had. So I probably wouldn't have came in and I had to fight for the little minutes and then when it was done. But it ended up working out how it was supposed to work out.
Yeah. So how much did Colorado pay you to get you there?
They didn't pay me nothing. But I'm sure people did get paid, though.
So what I heard, not about Colorado, but I've interviewed a lot of athletes. What I heard is it usually goes to the AAU handler.
Man, to me, though, honestly, my honest thing is, if your AAU coach kind of was there for you, helped you, put you in the position where you're at, they should get paid for, for helping you. They put a lot of time, energy, especially mine, picking you up, dropping you off, doing things that, normal people. So, I mean, to me, I think they deserve it. You know what I'm saying? But I know some people may not have that opinion because some people are going to get paid from you anyway, an agent, whatever, that you just met. This person been working with you for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. They deserve something for that too.
So I agree with you that if there is a kickback,
right?
Sure, no problem. I have no problem with that. Where it starts to get murky is when AAU coaches start guiding you.
Yeah. Not
based on it's a good fit,
right.
But they're just guiding you based on their own financial gain.
Right.
And I've heard a lot of stories about that where players are like being guided, hey, you go to this school, and then they get there and it's like, this don't even fit my style of play.
Yeah.
This city ain't even a city I can live in.
Right.
And that's the part where I'm like, man.
Yeah, people are gonna get taken advantage of, man. Unfortunately, so you got to have that strong circle. That's why the family's important to be able to kind of step in, and be that, give you that guidance. You know what I'm saying? So, because it's out there, man, and anything that you do, whether it's this, it could be religion, it could be anything. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta, what are you getting out the deal? Yeah. And Colorado, when I went there, they were talking about starting as a freshman. You know what I mean? That coach said that out of his own mouth. I got a chance to compete and start as a freshman, and, the opportunity was out there for me. So it was closer to home. So to me, and I had somebody that I already knew, so it just kind of made sense.
So Colorado was off the gate. There was no other place you was considering?
No. Iowa State was very close, man. Iowa State, they had it, because at that time, they were coming off something the other coach did where they only had 5 scholarships. So the coach was like, you're going to play the whole game. Like, I don't care how bad I don't have nobody else to play.
By default.
Yeah, and I'm like, and they had Stinson and Blaylock, who I played against at prep already.
Yep.
So I'm like, you know what, that's kind of, I'm in the Big 12 still. I don't have to, worry about, you know what I mean? But then, but you're going to be, no offense to Ames, Iowa.
Right,
but,
that part.
They didn't really the visit was cool, you know what I'm saying? But they had doing weird stuff like cow tipping and this and that. Like, it's cold.
It wasn't the Jesus Shuttlesworth trip.
Nah, that didn't happen, man. But, they have great fans, though. They have a great basketball culture. And I think if I'd have went there, I think it would have been a great fit as well, to be honest.
Was Mike Taylor there when you was?
I played against Mike Taylor, yeah.
Okay. Yep. I remember he transferred from JUCO or something. He had a nice career there. Still playing Big 3.
Yep. I seen him when they had the Big 3 trials here.
Yeah, nice. So Colorado. So when you took the recruiting trip, you don't have to incriminate yourself, but was it fun?
Well, it was fun, but it wasn't fun. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't fun.
Yeah,
fun. It didn't snow.
Yeah. It was definitely dry. It was definitely sunny skies, man. No precipitation was happening. It wasn't that. I don't know.
Because I feel like, all right, there is the Jesus Shuttlesworth. Now, I didn't by any means. I wasn't an All-American or #1 player in the nation, so I didn't get the Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Yeah.
But recruit trips was.
Yeah.
I mean, they knew you was coming.
Right, for sure. I mean, I think
and I
learned from my recruiting trip. So if I had recruits, I know what they kind of want to see.
Yeah.
So that was kind of anybody that put on the recruiting trip, they signed for sure.
Absolutely.
But that was helping my team get better. All around. Except for it's funny because Paul George was on a recruiting trip to Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, he wasn't, who he is now. He was still fighting against Scott. They wouldn't even offer him a full.
I think it was a prop.
Yeah.
Something like that.
They didn't even offer him a full scholarship.
Yeah,
imagine.
He was a late bloomer, though.
Yeah, but imagine, damn, we passed up on Paul George. It's I got to hurt. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know he was on it. He told me later on because he went to Fresno State with my best friend. He's like, I was on a trip to Colorado. I remember meeting you up there. I'm like, for real? I'm like, I don't even remember that. He's just I guess they was just.
So if you didn't remember it, the coaches didn't remember it.
Yeah, he's like, but now that we all do now.
But did he really? I guess he had to kill at Fresno, but he wasn't killing, was he?
Nah, freshman year, killing out the gate.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember his name, but I don't remember
Yeah.
Darren Peterson type killer.
Right. No. He was not like that. He took 3 years to kind of get.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. I think it's maybe 2. I'm not sure, but he definitely wasn't a one and done guy. He had to first year got his name out there, second year got better, and third year he killed.
That's what I'm saying. And then he was a development.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So then you get to Colorado your freshman year, you playing right off the bat.
Oh yeah, started.
And this
every
is Big
game.
12. This not Pac-10 when I grew up. Pac-12.
Right.
This is Big 12. This is Kansas winning the national championship. This is Mizzou's got a good team. Iowa State's but
Right.
Big 12 cracking.
Oh nah, man, it was every night, man. There was no nights off, especially on the road. I think the Big 12 was special at that time because most colleges are in a city town or in the college town. You know what I mean? So it's like they are what's going on. The whole entire city is there. You know what I'm saying? That's the event. There's no professional team, so it makes it that much harder to win because the fans are engaged, they're into it, and man, it was tough.
Yeah, because I think even Kansas State was in the Big 12 at that time.
Kansas State,
they had a good team.
Yep.
Yeah, and then now I'm thinking about Manhattan, Ames, Boulder, Columbia. Yep, all small college towns.
Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah. So you ended up breaking Chauncey Billups' scoring record?
I broke Chauncey's freshman scoring record. Ended up being the all-time leading scorer. The last game, which I was tied by Corey Higgins. We both all-time leading scorers. But yeah, my freshman year broke his record. And the freshman this year, then Alex broke mine, and then a freshman this year just broke it at Colorado.
Oh, they getting crazy up there.
Yeah. So he had a great year.
But what was that feeling like?
My freshman year, or just doing all-time?
No, the freshman year, because that's starting off.
Oh,
and it's like you just fresh on campus,
right?
Ears still wet.
Yeah. Honestly, I was just
and that's a legend.
Yeah, I didn't really at the time. You really don't put it together like that. You just think I'm just hooping. I'm just hooping. Yeah. That's all I know. I'm trying to get to the league.
Right.
Like, if it's gonna help me to get to the league, cool. I appreciate it, but it's just it showed me that where I could be at if I continue to work.
So are you thinking league, or are you just thinking let me just hoop?
Right.
And whatever happens. Or are you thinking nah, I need to go to league?
No. I'm thinking I want to make sure I'm going in the right direction for that goal. And then sophomore year, I'm now in my freshman year, I'm on the draft boards. People know who I am. And then sophomore year, end up being first team all Big 12. And now it's like NBA scouts are here to watch you.
Yeah.
Like you see their name on the back of the chairs. You know exactly what teams are here. They're here to see you. So now it becomes like, okay, now it's like I got to lock in. You know what I mean? Now it's go time for sure. And that was different for me. I was always used to being behind the scenes, and now I am, what I'm saying, what people want to see. So it's like I had to change my mindset when it came to that as well.
Now, do you start to feel the pressure, or are you excited? Like, what's going? Because everybody will handle that differently. Some people get big-headed, stop working. Some people see it and they work harder.
Yeah.
How was it for you?
Man, I had to look at the game differently. I remember because my brother was on the Nuggets at the time. And you usually just watch the NBA game, but now I'm thinking I gotta play against these dudes next year. So I'm looking at Melo. I'm like,
how would I guard that?
Yeah, how would I guard Melo? This dude, I'm looking at him damn, am I really ready for that? And back then the league is different than it is now. People was way bigger, stronger, and it was more physical. So it's you had to be. Now you can be.
Yeah, you literally can't be touched.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's size really don't matter. It's just athleticism and skill more now, shooting ability, but. So I had to look at the game different. When I started thinking that, a little bit of doubt started to creep in, and I had to really try to fight that. You know what I'm saying? Because this was new for me, kind of being on that scene.
Now, this is another thing our audience might not realize too that I've actually learned a lot myself is when you are that top guy in college, sometimes you got to battle your teammates because they trying to get that spot. And in basketball, it's only one ball.
Yeah.
And you shooting it, you the leading scorer. Yeah. But they I'm trying to get my shine. How was that for you?
The dynamic was kind of weird in that sense because we did have my sophomore year. We did have 9 seniors.
Ooh, and that's worse.
Yeah, so they're all I got to do something for next year. So and then it was a mess. The coaches and assistant coaches was beefing at the time too. So it was just it was a lot of stuff going on that we were able to be good, and then things kind of started going left, and we was top 25 and ended up just. By the end, we lost by 45 in the Big 12 tournament to A&M, which kind of hurt me in a sense. So I had to regain back all my draft status because of it.
Now, we talking about your sophomore year. Where's your status at now? What are the evaluators saying?
Right. In the middle, I remember looking at NBADraft.net, and it was we just played Oklahoma on TV on ESPN. It had 30 or something, and I just came off like a 33-point game and another 27-point game. Or in fact, they did a thing, Kobe or Roby, because that's when Kobe had 81, and I had 81 in 3 games.
Yeah.
So on ESPN, they had us doing this. I still have not seen it to this day. And, like, only my friends and people that know me have seen it. I'm like, bro, one time I was online trying to find it. Like,
it's got to be on YouTube.
I don't even know if it really happened at this point. I'm like, I never seen it.
Right.
But anyways, and I see myself on the draft board like 12. I was like, damn. At that time, I was ahead of Brandon Roy. And then, like, towards the middle, then Brandon Roy started killing, and he ended up obviously taking off and doing, and I'm like, shit. By the end, I was probably around like 20 to 40 was kind of my draft range. So I still wasn't solidified as a guarantee first round. I had to kind of go out there and fight for it. So I didn't really hire an agent at that time. You hire an agent, you lose your eligibility. Right. So I kind of went out there with an advisor that kind of like guides your, what you should do in the draft. But, I probably should have stayed in at that time, to be honest, because the longer you stay in college, the more they watch you, the more things they don't like about you.
Now they just start finding out what's wrong instead of like, potential. Exactly. They start finding out, like, why is he staying so long? Oh, he can't shoot.
Right, for sure. And that started to happen. But, it is what it is.
Yeah, so that's your sophomore year. I'm just thinking, like, what is that mindset? Like, 33 straight games. Is it easy to you? Is it the reps you putting in during the week? Are you in a zone?
Right.
Or
I think it's just like a confidence, man. It's like it's really a mind thing at that point because it's like, okay, the whole week that team is geared to stop you. You know what I'm saying? But you still got to find a way. But I think to me, basketball was just, I don't say easy, but it just was natural. You know what I'm saying? Like I really never had to like do all of that. I wish I had more of that work ethic and like, be in the gym. But me, it was just like, I just want to hoop. Like, I just go in the gym and shoot, but I'm not doing drills. I'm just out there.
That's what I'm wondering. I'm like, during the week, are you one of them like gym rat guys? Or is it just like, bro, I was born to hoop?
Yeah, that's kind of what it was. And I think, and I think NBA teams knew that because it's like, man, the game comes to you're not really playing hard out here. It's like you're just like going through the motions. You're still doing what you do, but I looking back at myself now, I kind of understand what they were seeing, watching myself. Yeah. So I wish I would have like, really, showed that side. That kind of happened more as a pro. Yeah.
Because I interviewed David Bell. I think you know David. And he was the other way around where, I mean, it came natural to him, but he's shorter. Yeah. He was slimmer. So it didn't come like ultra easy, but he was a gym rat.
Right.
I'm like, man, we could have just morphed y'all together.
Yeah, right.
Your size and natural skill with his work ethic. Shit, you would have been Kobe.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm like, I admire, man. Like, it's not easy. Like, I wasn't like a dude that was never in the gym, but I wasn't like
the hardest working guy, first guy in, last guy to leave. Yeah.
Nah, I wasn't like that. I just want to make sure I felt good enough to be able to like be in a rhythm. You know what I'm saying?
So now, Did you entertain coming out after your sophomore year? Or?
I did come out.
You did
come out, and I had some guarantees in the second round. I had a few teams in the first round that probably would have took me, but I didn't have anybody solidified. Said that if I'm there, they was going to take. Plus, honestly, I picked the wrong person to advise me at the time.
Okay.
Like you mentioned the AAU coaches and this and that. They have the people they want you to go with, and I have the people my parents want me to go with. So I ended up picking my own choice just to be able to be in the middle, and it was the wrong one. If I'd have been one of theirs, I'd have been cool.
Right.
In my mind, I'm like, but it wasn't his fault. And, dude named, I think Dan Fake, I think he ended up passing away. He was one of the top agents at the time.
Okay.
He's actually my brother's agent when he came out. He had a guy named Mitch Butler. And Mitch was just coming in the game as an agent. He kind of just put me with him, but he really didn't know what was kind of going on. He didn't really know how to navigate through that. It was his first time kind of doing it. In my mind, I'm thinking he's my trainer because he kind of also training me and that other guy, to come to find out he was kind of like supposed to be my advisor at the time. He just, like, Rich, man, I kind of don't know. He just kind of threw me out here into the, what I mean? Because he was already good. He was already in Beverly Hills living his life. I don't think he wanted to be an agent at the time. So he's kind of grooming him, and it kind of like, I really couldn't trust what was kind of going on during the process to like keep my name in there. But I think, there were some teams I think for sure would have took me.
Yeah, would have took you. And that's crazy too that, that you really, because this is the thing, like, just living normal life, right? You go around, you meet people, and there's all these athletes these athletes that. And sometimes I just sit and listen, and I want to, like, respond that, like, you have no idea of, like, the phantom cousins that come out of the woodwork, you know, the family member that dropped you off when you was 8. Now they feel like you owe them $50,000 every month. The agents that are coming, and like you said, your parents had their choice. The AAU guy got his choice. You still got to go out there and perform. And I feel like people just don't understand all that it's not a video game.
No, it's a business, and you learn quickly. I mean, these schools, man.
And you're 19, 20?
Yeah. Like, these schools are, as the athlete, they're depending on you to be able to help bring revenue to the school. You're helping build the buildings. It's a business to them, but to us, it's hooping. But once you understand what it really is, you know, that's kind of where, you know, the love, not the love, but like why you're playing for it kind of shifts to like a business point, because now you're really not out here just now. You have to look at both angles. You're trying to still love it, but now you got to like navigate through a whole nother world that you're not used to.
Yep. And I always say high school is the last time that is pure and shit. Even now.
No more.
I mean, now you can't even say that, but when I was coming, it was like high school was the last time it was just fun.
Right.
Where you play with the guys in your neighborhood. If you go to public school and you're playing against high schools that you've watched growing up. But then once you go to college, unless you really love it, the fun is gone.
No, it's for sure a business, because the coach, it's his business.
It's his livelihood.
It's livelihood. He got to eat. He got to feed his family. And you're helping him do that. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do, somebody else will.
And people don't realize back in the day, the scholarship really was year to year.
Oh, yeah, year to year.
They can really take your scholarship.
I've seen it happen a lot of times.
Yeah, it was year to year. So all this like, they get a scholarship, and it's like, nah, that thing is year to year. They can take that at any point. And a lot of coaches. See, this is why I'm a proponent of the transfer portal. Right. Now, I think it should be some tweaks to it. Yeah. But, bro, when you get on campus, every coach in America I know use this line: "I'll send you back home."
Yeah.
That ain't no way to lead, man.
The coaches I think the power dynamic shifted a lot, man, because, like, before the coaches had all the power, you had none.
All of it.
And now the players have a lot more power to be able to, like, what'd you say? Like, because if you could have been in them locker rooms with the coach was saying to me, I'm talking about not just basketball, personal. Like, they'll talk about your family. They'll talk about your
been there.
Yeah, like your dog. They don't give a. They'll talk about like they'll make you feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, it's crazy. Bro, I'm like, man,
this coach is making probably at that time $3 to $8 million a year.
Oh yeah,
and is based on your performance.
Exactly.
So if you out there not doing what you're supposed to do, he's gonna talk to you all kind of crazy.
And speaking of that, like, you know, one of the reasons why I came back as well was because my coach, he flew out to California to have dinner with me. He was like, "Rich, I want you to come back. Like, right now you're not solidified but if you come back, my whole thing is making you a first-round pick. Like, that's all I want to do." And at that time, me and him was kind of beefing a little bit because he was talking about me bad to the scouts and to everybody. Like, he was saying, "Rich don't play no defense. Rich take up," because he had a contract year coming up the year after that. So he needed me back to help him get his contract year. You know what I'm saying? So first day back at my junior year, we got 9. Remember, we got 9 seniors. Now we have 9 freshmen. He says the best freshman class we ever recruited. Like, watch when you see him. And I'm still waiting to see him. We had some cool ones, but like, listen, he had with the Fab Five coming in.
Right.
So the first practice, he says, "Listen, I'm not coming back, even if they offer me," to 9 freshmen who he just recruited. This is the first practice.
That's
and I'm like, "Yo, why would you come bring me back to this?" And we went like 7 games the whole year. I fell off every draft board there was.
That's crazy.
Like, we practicing in the rec, and sometimes the coaches wouldn't even show up. Sometimes it was a mess, man. And you know, but that's the business. Yeah. That's what you think you don't see when you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? But after you get older, you kind of see what it is, which is, you know, hey, I'm not mad at it, but it's like, you know, I should have had wiser people around me to kind of guide me. You know what I mean? But it is what it is.
What was your parents saying at this time? Because you say your dad played in college, right?
Yeah, my dad played in college. You know, at that time, my brother was in the NBA with the Nuggets for a long time. Yeah. So, you know, I think I just didn't. I didn't want to be a burden to him to kind of like, you know what I mean, at the time. And I didn't want to kind of make my mom or my coach or anybody mad. So I just was kind of like, you know, trying to be in the middle too much instead of like really like sitting back and like, okay, this is my time to kind of figure out what the best move is.
Yeah. And then again, at this time, we're talking like 06, 2006.
Yeah.
ain't no transfer portal. Like if you transfer, you got to sit out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's not like it is today.
And that's what the coach had all the power. They can talk to you all they want
people
to.
watching, they're like, why didn't he just transfer? What? Nah, bro. Not in 2006. You got to sit out a whole year, or you got to go to D2. Who's gonna do that?
Nah. If you're hot at the time, you don't want to sit out, and you're easily forgotten about. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody else gonna come up, and that's what we saw. Like,
so then junior year, you said you start sliding. What was the what's your thought process at this point?
Man, I'm like, it was almost depression.
I was about to ask you, like, did you slide into it a little bit? Because I can see you ranked number 12. I know you calculated what does the 12th pick make.
Oh, yeah.
The handler, the agent, everybody, you can't avoid it.
No. You thinking about it like, and it's like things are becoming a reality that you dreamed about, and that's a hard thing to kind of deal with. Like, man, this is really like something I dreamed about as a child. This could really happen right now. So, like, I didn't know how to navigate through them thoughts as well, too. And then my junior year, like, man, I had to see a sports psychologist, all that stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, damn, I really ruined it by coming back to school. Like, I could have just stayed in. At least I know what I got drafted at the very least. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm, like, falling off of everything. It was funny because the day I seen the sports psychology, we played Kansas the next day, and Kansas. I ended up having 30 at Kansas. I'm like, I don't know what she told me,
but it worked.
I thought I was fixed. You know what I mean? So I stopped seeing her, man. I'm like, damn, I should have kept seeing her, man. She had me right. But
so you just went to that one session?
Yeah, one session. Had 30 at Kansas. I'm like, damn, I'm fixed. She did her job. But I wasn't done. Should have seen her a couple more times.
Damn, that's crazy. What did she say?
I don't remember exactly. I think she was letting me talk. You know what I mean?
That's usually what therapists do.
Yeah. Let me get off my chest, and she was probably saying some things, and I just felt kind of good to talk about it. You know what I mean? Because you walking around with it in college, you don't got time to really even think like that because they keep you busy from sun up to sundown the whole entire day. So it's like. It was good to be able to. I know they have a lot more of that now because mental health is something. Yeah. But they don't give a damn about your mental health.
No, bro. It was almost a bad thing if you had to see a sports psychiatrist. It's like, you got a what?
Right.
You know what I mean? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, like, man, you ain't built for this.
Yeah.
You go somewhere else. Like, you know what I mean? You're not built for this.
You try to do that shit secretly.
Yeah.
Coach, I'll be right back.
Right. We go cry at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy. It's just crazy how things have changed.
For sure.
Just information and exposure to things, and because we bottle up so much, just especially as athletes. Like, I know when I got with my wife, my current wife, I was going through some things, and she was kind of like, what's going on? And I couldn't really figure it out myself. I just knew I just kept doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
So it really came down. I was telling her, I was like, I never. Outside of my parents, I have a great parental structure. Yeah. But outside of my parents, I don't think I've ever been valued. It was always like, what can you do for me?
Right.
Even with women, it was like, what can you do for me? So you're always waiting for a mistake because if you get hurt, you cut.
Right.
If you have a bad game, you cut. And then when you dating, or at least when I was dating coming up, it was like, if you can't take me to this restaurant or if you can't drive this car.
Right.
And I kept telling my wife, I'm like, you got to think, I grew up in Oakland.
Yeah.
So we got the A's, the Warriors, and the Raiders, and the Pimps.
Yeah.
So
a lot of those.
Right. So it's like, bro, the girls I was chasing was dating Gilbert Arenas.
Right.
I can't compete with them in JUCO.
Yeah.
So it was hard for me to see my value as a person and that I'm good enough because I'm always waiting for the shoe to drop.
Yeah.
And I feel like people just don't understand that with athletes.
Nah, it becomes important, almost like a drug, to be able to get that validation, and you're kind of looking for it, and you're trying to if you don't get it, then you think something's wrong. You know what I'm saying? So we're always looking to be, somebody you're out there trying to compete for somebody to say he's good. I want them. You know what I'm saying? So you're almost on. What do you call it when you trying to become an actor when you're on cast? You know what I'm saying?
You're always just on.
Yeah, exactly.
You can never be vulnerable. You can never show weakness.
Nah. Not back then.
Nah. If my shoulder was hurting, it'd be like, I can't. I just got to fight through it.
Sure.
So then when you're dating, it's like, what's wrong, baby? Man, I can't tell you I'm sad. I can't tell you, pockets is low. I can't tell you,
No. You gotta just smile and everything's all right. And inside you burning up.
Hey, cuz you think you can give me a table at FTK?
Man, I've been there a lot of times. I was married 15 years too.
So now, did you come out your junior year? What was?
No, my junior year, I couldn't. There's
no way.
It made no sense. Then we had a new coach my senior year. Jeff Bizdelic came in. I think he did a pretty good job kind of getting things managing a lot of things that weren't right at the time. You know what I'm saying? They didn't really give him a lot to work with, but I think he did good from what he had. He had a lot of NBA experience, a lot of NBA connections, so it kind of helped me. And he coached my brother, and he was on the Nuggets, which gave me some good stories about him as well.
We'll definitely get into that. Definitely get into that.
So, you know, he was a really good X and O's guys, and we came from a point we had no structure to a whole lot of structure, because now we run in the Princeton offense.
Oh,
we go from like having no offensive structure to having the most disciplined structure. So it kind of gave me the ability to kind of see both sides to be able to operate in.
Did you thrive in that system?
I had to learn how to. You know, in the beginning, I remember the first game we played New Mexico. I had 2 points my first game my senior year. I'm like, I'm done. I thought I was done. I'm like, it's over with. Yeah, maybe I do suck. You know what I mean? Like. So I had to, like, you know, kind of grow into it. Then I started, you know, finding my spots. The coach kind of helped me find the spots to be able to score in. And, you know, with that type of offense, you need the right personnel in there as well, too. Yep. So it was a learning experience for all of us.
You need unathletic people.
Yeah. You need unathletic people that just can shoot and, you know, just want to cut all
robots.
day. Yeah. Pretty much. You know, and he started, like, implementing a little bit of freedom into it for us because he knew we needed that, too. And I think the year after that, he implemented more, and he ended up getting better and better from it as well, too. So.
Did you feel your confidence coming back a little bit during this stretch?
It did. You know what I'm saying? And then at one point, I was just like, had one of them stretches like I had my sophomore year, and I started getting back. The coach was like, man, everybody's looking at you now, man. You know, I talk to a lot of people, this, and that. And then some stupid stuff happened, man, on campus, man. You know.
What happened?
It's one of my friends, man, ended up, like, taking somebody's cell phone. And they shipped it to San Bernardino. And all they knew, they seen me and they knew I was from San Bernardino. So basically the mom was like, you know what? I know you didn't steal it, but we're going to say you did it unless she gets her phone back in the next couple of days. And I know it's going to go to the media. We don't care about none of that. And I'm like, damn. And then guess who we playing? The next day, Kansas. At Kansas. So he's like, man, I'm killing. He said, I'm showing everybody's coming to watch you play at Kansas. Make sure you do your. Bro, I had like 4 points up there. 'Cause I'm thinking about this lady. Yeah, get me in trouble with the news and all this other stuff. Long story short, somehow she got her phone back. You know, and it ended up being a dead situation. But sometimes.
You have a cell phone.
Yeah, that was, it was a bad look. It was a bad look.
But it never got out.
No, she didn't end up doing it.
But the 4 points was a bad look.
Yeah, it was a bad look. Okay. So it's like, man, but the coach knew what was going on because coach when they told me, he's like Rich, she knows.
Yeah,
like
he probably sent the envelope.
Like make sure the cell phone gets back to her. I'm like, okay, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, I don't know if the cell phone ever gave back to her, but I'm sure the manila envelope got
whatever happened, I was in the clear after that. So
yeah, that's how D1 works.
Yep. So it is what it is.
Is the joy coming back?
Now that I play, or just
no, your senior year.
My senior year, yeah, it is because now I'm like, okay, their structure I know was, you know what I mean. We never really had that any of the years before, so now it's like, okay, I can, having some great games, and now I'm at least on the radar again. So now I just got to go out there and kind of do my thing when I get an opportunity. When you do the individual workouts for the teams, that was kind of what my mindset was.
Okay, what was your best game, or not even your best game? What was your most fun game of all the 4 years you were there?
I think the game I had my career high at Missouri. Had a career high. My guy Chris Copeland hit the game-winning shot because we really needed to win bad. I think we were like 11-1 in the preseason or something, and we lost like our first 3 games in the Big 12, and we really needed to win. And we on the road, so we needed that win bad. Ended up in a big shot. That was a fun game. We played against KD, his first Big 12 game in Colorado. Mm-hmm. Gave us the Blues up there. But it was fun to kind of go back and forth with him in that game as well. So anytime we played against a big name, I was gonna show up.
Yeah,
like that was. I don't know. Sometimes I didn't show up all the time against somebody else.
It's hard though.
Yeah, that was one of my problems. Was like if I already gave you work, I never wanted to play against you again. I wanted to play against somebody that people think is better.
Yeah.
So I could go out there and do my thing. And
it's easy to get up for those guys.
Oh, yeah,
it's the playing North Dakota State on a Tuesday.
Exactly. It's hard to get,
just get through these 40 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think, but that's something that's why I think the mindset is really important to kind of to have and to read more. If I wish I would read more books about the mind and things like that, because they always train your body and this and that, but the mind is the most powerful muscle we have.
Yeah. What was the best away arena?
Man. The hardest, I mean, definitely at Kansas for sure because you got people 10 before the game. I mean, the day before, waiting to get into the gym. As soon as they open up the door, you see this sea of blue. For me though, like at Missouri, like they had these hecklers just for me that were just out there.
Yep.
I didn't want to warm up against Missouri because they would just get personal. They would just say crazy things to get old. I'm like, man. I'll be out there trying to like slide to the game. I'm like, why y'all always just harassing me? Like they don't like Roby. I'm like, God damn, here these people go again.
Yeah. So so now, did you go to the combine, NBA combine again?
Yeah, I went to the NBA combine. Ended up breaking my hand.
Ooh.
Yup, third day. I was doing well, man. I was like, I think top 5 in the camp in scoring over the first 3 games. Funny story. So I'm coming down the elevator. Guess who jumped on the elevator with me?
Who is that?
Larry the Legend. Larry Bird.
Wow.
Me and Larry Bird in the elevator. He's like, Roby, man, you doing good. Everybody liking what you're doing, man. Like, you really, climbing up. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm like,
bro,
bet.
I would have peed on myself.
Bro, I'm like, I'm solidified. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. Randy Brown was my coach. At the time, we was playing in freaking dude Scott Padgett from Louisville, man. Freaking Patino got these bigs hedging extra hard. So he hedged the screen extra hard, and I'm like, guarding the ball, my finger got caught in the jersey, and I broke my hand. So I'm like telling Randy Brown, I'm like, yo, get me out the game. I can't film. He's like, nah, man, play through it. Remember we talked about that? Like, nah, I don't think I can play through this one. So I get out the game. I go to the trainer. He look at it one time. He's like, yeah, your hand is broken. The next day, it looked like Professor Clump.
Ooh.
And then I couldn't do no more workouts. All of them was done because I had like 20 workouts set up. Couldn't do none of them. And, ended up getting one interview with Oklahoma City. That's when they were in Seattle. They flew me out. And they were like, listen, we got 4 picks in the second round. We're going to take you with one of the picks. And I'm like, cool. We're probably going to end up sending you overseas, though. Are you okay with that? We don't want to draft you. We're not okay with that. I'm like, that's cool. At least I can hear my name being called, and I can go out there.
100%.
And they end up trading all the picks. I don't remember who they traded for. I remember watching the draft at home. I'm like, damn.
OKC, 2009.
2008.
2008. They traded all the picks. I don't know. I can't remember. It wasn't Shea.
No.
It wasn't PG.
It probably could have been for the picks that end up getting somebody. They could have traded for something, but I don't know what player they got. But Oklahoma City know what they're doing.
Damn, I meant to ask you this. I forgot, and then we'll come right back to this. When you played against KD, was it obvious that he was going to be special?
Yeah, I told my coach, I'm like, let me guard him. I'm like, I know he plays center in college, but he's a guard.
Yeah,
let me guard him. He's like, no, we're not letting you guard him. He too tall, this and that. He had the first 15 point, first 15 points of the game. I'm like, look at the, I'm like, I tried to tell you this before the game started, but he ended up with 37 and 17
as
a freshman in his first Big 12 game. That's that was unheard of to even think about. You know what I'm saying? I had a good freshman year, but I wasn't doing shit like that.
Right.
So it was like, man, he, and he wasn't even looking how he does now. He was still he just knew how to score. Yeah. He could shoot. Yeah. You know what I mean? Now he developed every part of his game that you see now, but it definitely was there.
Yeah, I remember he came out, and I was like, wow. That dude was special.
Then the next year, Beasley came and did the same thing. Yeah. And Beasley scored easier than KD.
Yeah, Beasley's a natural scorer.
Yeah.
I just wish he would have just had a better NBA career because that boy can go.
Bro, I never seen somebody score easier than him. He was probably the toughest cover that I seen. There was nobody was going to do nothing with what he was doing.
What made him so tough?
Because he was just able to get to his spots. He had that high release. He really couldn't get to it, so a big really couldn't have the footwork to guard him. He was too big for a guard to guard him. It was just a matchup problem. And we played him. We played at Colorado. Me and him was going at it like how me and KD was going at it shot for shot. He ended up with 30. I ended up with 27. He's like, man, I'm just trying to score more points. That's all he cared about. I want more points than you. I'm like, shit.
I just want to score more points than you.
That's word for word. That's what he said. And he did. Crazy. And they beat us.
That's great. So, all right. So now, you went from, you saw your name on number 12 on NBA.net. Now, you at your senior year, shit is looking spooky. Where are you at mentally? Where are you trying to go? What's on the table right now?
Right.
And then the other thing is going overseas, you can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
You can have a wonderful lifestyle. But nobody came up Like, I want to play.
Nah, yeah,
it's almost like,
it's like,
it's like, I'm going to go.
For sure. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to get some money. That's it.
Right. What you feeling that, like, what was on the table at the time?
So after the draft, I had summer league that I could play in, and like my hand was still broken, so I couldn't play in Vegas. There was one in Utah at the time I could play in, so I played in summer league with New Jersey. Coming off injury, really didn't get a lot of minutes, and I'm like, man, I gave my whole life to this game, and I didn't make it. Like, I'm gonna go overseas, but I don't even care about even getting better. However good I am now, that's how good I'm gonna be.
Right.
So I got over there, and I'm like, they're good over here too. And I'm like, I gotta still work on my game. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a whole other type of basketball you gotta learn. You know what I'm saying? And players to play with. So, at the time it was like devastating. Of course, it's like, man, I don't even want to. Like, you go through just like, man, I can't believe this happened. Like, what if I would have stayed in my sophomore? You start thinking all those things start popping back up again. You just gotta roll with the punches. And at the end of the day, you get paid to play basketball, which is a rare thing to be able to do. You get a chance to travel the world, and I just have to like go from being grateful, man. That's ultimately what you have to get into your mindset.
What countries did you play in? What other countries did you play in?
Israel, Greece, France, Argentina, Mexico, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Korea, and Japan.
Shit, you played in some fun ass countries.
Yeah.
Which one was the best one?
All of them. I liked certain things about all of them, to be honest. I can't say it was I probably say Japan was probably my favorite because I was there the longest. I was there 5 years, and that's kind of like, my children were there as well, so it has like a special place to me. Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna say it's the funnest, but, to me, that was probably the most special place I played in overseas.
Because I'm thinking some of them countries you named, I'm like, yeah, I can see that Puerto Rico being really fun.
Yeah. Puerto Rico was actually like, mind you, I got married early, so at the time I was married, so I didn't like have that type of fun. My family was with me a lot of the time, you know what I'm saying? So, but when I did play at Puerto Rico, man, it was a paid vacation. I almost missed a damn game. I was out there just sitting by the pool, just relaxing. I'm like, oh shit,
I got a game.
Yeah, I never did like as a pro, but they only brought me there for the playoffs anyway, so I wasn't really tripping. So I'm like, man, family pack up. We're gonna be on the beach. It's not like we hooping, but it's not what we here. I already played in 3 different countries at that time, so it was just there for like a couple weeks. Yeah. So let me get my 4,000 for the week, and then we're gonna play, and then we're gonna be on vacation.
When you're an American and you get called to play overseas, you're basically like a hired gun. You're like they really want you to score like 40 a night.
Right. Not in all countries. In Europe, they don't want that. Okay. If you scoring more, they want you to score 13. If you score 13, 5, and 5, you're a great player in like EuroLeague. They don't want nobody scoring 30. They want to share the ball. They want to like everybody to kind of be involved. Okay. They want to play that type of basketball. But in other countries, like you're in Asia, China, Japan, Philippines, they want you to go out there and get 30 for sure.
And then they got another guy. If you score 15, they got another guy that's right there ready to take your spot.
Oh, yeah. I've been in that guy, and I've been the guy who got their spot took, too.
So talk about that. Talk about that, like the feeling on each side.
Okay,
like being the guy, and there's a guy waiting, and then being the waiting guy, and it's like, well, I hope this dude has a bad game.
It's a business, and you got I have children. It is what I got to like go at you. I got I got to do what I got to do. But being replaced ain't never fun. But most of the places I've been replaced, I didn't really want to be there. It was kind of like I was kind of happy in a sense. But all the places I really wanted to be in, I never got replaced. But at the end of the day, you still get like, your ego is still shot at the end of the day. They're going to call you in that office and be like, man, we appreciate it. But everywhere I go, I kept the professional. I never was like, I was just like, man, thank you for the opportunity. It didn't work out. Good luck with the next player. And I always kept good relationships that way. But it happens to NBA guys go out there and get replaced. Like, this is going to happen. Because it's like there's a lot to choose from. A lot of times it's a 1-year contract and somebody waiting. Yeah.
I always think of it like, even if I'm dating a girl and I don't like her, I don't want her to dump me, though. I want to be the one that dumps.
Wait. I don't even like you like that.
You didn't want to be with me. Yeah. I really didn't want to be with you. I get it. What's the biggest difference? You talked about the European ball. What's the biggest difference between like American collegiate ball and then going over to play overseas? Right. Totally different style of play.
Yeah, because, at that time, being here was based off a lot of athleticism. Yeah. And athleticism doesn't really matter that much over there. It's skill. So it's how you can think the game and how skilled you are as a player to be able to do a lot of different things. Mm-hmm. They want you to be able to do it, like a Scottie Pippen type player. Right. You know what I'm saying? All around, they want you to be that type of player, not somebody who's here to be able to just get their buckets and go. Now you got to be able to also get along with the players from that country because if they don't like you, you ain't gonna be there that long either. Which you got to understand. You're still foreigner there. You know what I'm saying? So
I
you
never
got to
even
be
thought about that.
Yeah.
What about the language barriers? Did you have trouble like with the coach? Did your coaches speak English? Because I've heard a lot of stories where the coaches don't speak English.
Yeah, coaches speak English all the time.
The crowd don't speak English, and you just out there like they just drawing X's and O's, and that's the only common language.
Yeah. In Japan and Korea, we had translators. It's funny because sometimes the coach start yelling at you, and the translator just don't even. Like, I'm not even gonna tell you what's going on. Like they be like, the coach don't know. But it's definitely different. One of the things I wish I didn't have a translator all the time. Because I wish I would have learned the language a little bit more. Like, I was there in Japan for 5 years. I don't know nothing.
Yeah.
People like, you know the language? I'd be like, nah. Like, people, they be talking to me. I just be, whatever facial expression they make, that's what I make too. I'm like, you laughing? We must be funny. Like, ha. I don't know what you're laughing at.
Right. I hope we ain't laughing at me.
Yeah, right. But it's crazy how every country has a different culture when it comes to basketball. Like, in Japan and Korea, like, after the game, they give you gifts. The fans come and bring you gifts.
Oh, wow.
Because they want to thank you for entertaining them. That's like they want to show gratitude for you going out there and entertaining them. So after the game, you walk through the line, fans, you walk out with like 30 gifts and go to the car after every game.
What would the gifts be?
It could be anything, man. It could be food. It could be gift cards. I remember one time I got hurt. I twisted my ankle and the fans sent me like $100 in the mail.
Damn.
I got like a Louis belt from a fan recently, like maybe a few years ago from Japan. Like on my birthday, sent me a belt. Like,
damn,
here.
That's crazy.
I'm like, they keep up, man. So it was good.
Now, did you ever play in the Europe ones? Because that's where the ones I hear the most stories from. Did you ever get into those where the opposing crowd start fighting and throwing flares on the court and like what are the players actually scared, or is it like this is just like a Raiders Chiefs?
I'll tell you a couple stories. So when I was in Israel, this is the time they're having conflict with Gaza at the time, and it was heating up, and we had a game in Turkey. So they kind of knew, Turkey's a Muslim country, this like that. They knew it could be, we got to be careful. So they only let a certain fans into the game. They only let like maybe a couple hundred fans into the game. So we nervous too. We watching the game, this and that. They yelling at us. They throwing they throwing things on the court. And all we see is a crowd rushing down the court. We just started taking off to the locker. It's probably on YouTube still. We start sprinting to the locker room, and we don't even play. We're like, we're not going there. We're not here to play. We're not playing in this game. You know what I mean? Because like we don't want to be a part of that. We're not here for the politics, none of that kind of stuff. So that was one time. Another time, I got into a physical fight with somebody in France.
Wait, you got in a physical fight?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, some footage running around. They call me Rocky Roby out there. But so it was against a team called Limoges, and their fans are crazy. Like, I mean, like whole game jumping up and down. What you see in soccer games, that's what you see in Limoges. Yeah. So after that, we get kicked out the game or whatever, and then on the bus ride home, all the fans was out there. They had to have a police escort. They throwing stuff out our bus. This, and that. I was like, man, that was probably not a good move for me to kind of do this up here.
Rocky Roby.
Yeah, but dude was a dirty player anyway, so
that's crazy.
I already knew it was gonna happen eventually. So
was you like worried, like walking around town and stuff? Like,
nah, the funny thing was, like after we got into it or whatever, season's over and they're still playing, and we're in Marseille, and I see a couple of his teammates. And they walk like, man, you know how happy you are. He said, we don't know how happy you are. You did that to him. Like, nobody messed with him. Like, thought he was a bully doing this, all that, and nobody really liked him. So we appreciate it. I'm like,
you did them a favor.
Yeah. Then one of his teammates ended up being my teammate in Venezuela. Man, this dude, big country dude, probably like 6'7", 260, dude calves like this. He said, you trying to fight me? I was about to kill him the day before. You did that to him. I'm like, damn, he trying to fight you. Something definitely wrong with him.
Right,
like, this dude, country strong,
right,
dude.
Look like one of the Jokic brothers.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man. So
that's crazy.
Still banned from France right now, man.
Are you?
I gotta do a 4-game suspension if I never had to go back. That's why I couldn't go back. I'm like, damn,
France. Hey, you messed that ticket up. So speaking of tickets and money, the other thing I hear about playing in overseas too is sometimes the check don't show up.
Oh man, don't bring up those type of stories, bro. Don't bring up those type of stories. So first time that happened to me was I was playing in Venezuela.
Wait, hold on. I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
Had you heard stories about?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so you kind of was just waiting for
the first thing you ask. First thing you ask, like, are we gonna get paid on time?
Yeah.
What's the money? Like in Israel, we never really had no issue. They got me on the exchange rate when I first got there. I didn't really understand the calculations, but that was just one time. But Yeah. So man, it'll get like that.
So give me a story of a time where.
So, I'm trying to think. Like, give me a specific.
Okay, so I've heard stories.
Oh
where,
yeah. Okay, I got one. So in Venezuela, they were, the coach would pay us in cash. Like, not the coach, the GM would literally come and pay. Like, we get paid in 5s, 10s, 20s. Like
stripper money.
Yeah, like this is not legal money they're giving us. Like, we knew that. Like. So then the money started getting short, so he'll pay us a little bit at a time. He'll come to the locker room and count on like $5,000 in like 20s and 30s. And we live in a hotel out there, so we had like hide the money from the maids and everything. Every week we taking like, had to fly back with all this cash. We had it in diapers and all kind of stuff flying back to the States. But they ended up they've been like, it was like 16,000 short at that time. So I'm like, man, I'm not playing in the playoff game. I'm like, all right, bet. Now, like, left me in the hotel for like a week. Nobody came and like, we'll give you a ticket and send you home. Nobody came. Like, I thought I was stuck out there. Then finally, some random dude knocked on the door and said, here's 2 tickets, and took whatever money they did give me and left.
Bro, that's not the first story I've heard like that.
Greece was worse, man. Greece, it was so bad that the coach is paying me out of his own pocket. And the team like some of my teammates found out. They were resenting me because I'm still getting paid and nobody else. And it was every day. You know you're not getting paid when they give you 2 different days. They're like, oh, you next Thursday or Friday, that's when the money come in. I'm like, nah, we ain't get paid either one of them days. And then, they end up leaving. One day, I ended up leaving in the middle of the night in Greece. I bought my ticket and just flew home.
Damn.
And they were trying to hold my rights. I'm like, y'all owe me money. And y'all trying to hold my rights so I can't. I'm like, nah.
That's crazy.
But at that
How
time,
did they get away with that?
They're not supposed to. Like, you can sue them through FIBA, and I know a couple players that did, and they end up getting some of their money. So they can either fold as a team or whatever. They're gonna have to end up paying. I think a couple of my teammates end up doing it. I just never really fought for it, man, because in my mind, like, they ain't gonna pay, and just kind of like washed it under the rug. But yeah, this is definitely real. Just one question you definitely got to ask when you go whatever team you're going to, and that's why I said they need to be. I'm not gonna say it on because I don't want nobody to take my idea, man. But there need to be something to regulate that kind of stuff.
Well, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. When did you know, like, yeah, this is probably like my last game?
Hooping?
Yeah.
Man, I was my last year in Japan. It's just the rules. I kind of solidified myself in Japan, and then they started changing the rules up because they really wanted to develop the Japanese players. When I first got there, you could have 5 Americans on the team, and they had certain rules that you can have 3 Americans on the court in 2 quarters, and you can have 2 on the court. So, they had those type of rules, and they switched it to 3 Americans, and only 2 can suit up. So some games, you don't know if you was playing the day of the game, this and that, and then, like, guards, it started making it hard for guards to get jobs because they really only want bigs. Because if only one Japanese player, if only one American could be on the court, they don't need a guard.
Right.
They need a big.
Right.
So, the money started getting lower, and I was just like, do I really want to be away 9 months from my family? I'm already missing things, and the money's not where it should be, and, I want them to have a good life as well, too. So that's when I started thinking about things after basketball.
Okay. Because even for me, I mean, I didn't play pro, but even in college, like, I knew, like, oh, yeah, I ain't trying to go to the league.
Yeah.
And most people, when they retire, they've retired games before.
Oh, yeah.
Or probably even the season, like in the off season before.
Sure,
they're like,
sure.
all right, this is my last season.
Yeah, for sure.
Was it hard? Was it bittersweet? Was it because I know for like collegiate athletes that the transition between like going from a student athlete to just student is hard. Like it was hard for me.
Yeah.
Or even when you graduate
Right.
and you don't go, and you don't play professional, it's tough.
Right.
Was it hard for you to just be Richard Roby?
It was. It is a mindset thing. It's something you got to kind of deal with because you're just used to being an athlete. That's who you've been your whole life, and now you're just a civilian.
That's what I call it. It was hard, bro. It was hard.
Because people say what you do. I'm so used to saying I play, and you get some kind of, you get a little status. You're like, oh my god, and then you don't hear that anymore. Like, I'm just a corporate guy. You know what I mean? Like whatever. No offense, but it's like you don't have the same status.
It doesn't have the same status.
Not in America at least. You know what I mean? No. But when you are age, it do. But not before.
So you got an interesting story. I know you brought him up a couple of times, but your brother, Kenyon Martin. When did you? Because you guys have the same father. And I've heard his story on several podcasts. And his upbringing was interesting. When did you guys actually meet?
So, my father, who I told you played college ball, he he had a lot of children. You know what I'm saying? I think he had like 9, 7 different mothers. Kenyon was one of them. You know, so again, I was too, obviously, but it was you know, I guess as a baby he came over once, and obviously I don't remember that, but how I met him older was a guy named Eddie Lau. He was he working for an agency at the time, working for Kenyon's agency.
Okay.
And he ended up meeting my sister. And me and my brother were playing in a tournament at Pump and Run at Linwood High School in the summertime.
Yeah, with the Pump Brothers.
And he just got drafted, so he was in LA training at the time. And he was just like, hey, you know, we represent Kenyon. I'm gonna bring him to the game so we can meet y'all. So my sister was kind of telling us what was going on, and we're like, me and my other brother Paul, who passed away, me and him were his brothers. So he's like, you know what? He really coming to the game. So I'm nervous as hell. I'm like, I'm not playing, but my other brother is. So I you know, I never met him before. I'm like, he don't know who I am, this and that.
Yeah. But you guys know your brothers.
We knew his brother. He knew his brothers.
Okay.
So I'm like walking outside of Linwood High School, and I see him walking this way. I'm like, shit, I'm about to turn around. I don't want him just walking by me. He just gave me a hug, and he knew off the bat. You know what I'm saying? And we kind of, you know, started to build a relationship from there. And we really started to build our relationship when I got to Colorado, when he got the Nuggets, because he's only pretty much 30, 40 minutes away. So we got a lot more time to kind of, you know, grow that relationship.
Yeah. What, you were telling me off camera an interesting draft day story with Kenyon. What was that?
Draft day story.
You said make sure you ask me about the draft day story. Something crazy with him on draft day.
I don't.
You don't remember?
Nah, I don't. Nothing on draft day. But I remember my dad brought a picture to Kenyon before we actually met him. He was like, "This is your brother. He live in Texas. He going to the NBA." And me and my other brother was like, "Man, he ain't going no damn NBA. we going to the NBA."
Right.
Then we started watching him at Cincinnati. Like freshman year, you know, he's like, sophomore year he got better. Junior year he got real good. And senior year, obviously,
player of the year.
Damn, my dad knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
He wasn't around a lot, but he gave us some good genes. You know what I'm saying? So, especially when it came to hoop.
Is he as mean as he portray?
He's very like secluded, like to himself. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't really like, you know, he ain't really loud and want no drama because he kind of know like how he can get.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's how you know he's not like the difference between like him and Draymond Green, right? They kind of got into a little bit.
Big difference.
Draymond is more like emotional, get mad. Kenyon's not emotional when he get mad. He's just gonna do what he do. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it ain't like he's angry. He's just like this is what I do.
Right.
Like he not have to build himself up for that, but you know what I'm saying? It's how he grew up, man. You know, living how he grew up is different from how we grew up.
Yeah. When you got the call that you was gonna be in the Colorado Hall of Fame, did you know it was? Did you like?
I mean, I like who else going? If I'm not going, like who else gonna go?
Right.
Like I'm all-time leader scorer, probably top 10 in every statistical category in the school. So, in my mind was I had to graduate. Because I left my sophomore year, so I didn't finish that semester. In my senior year, I left early to kind of get ready for the draft. So I had to like make up some time. So let me graduate. Let me, you know, I mean, that'd be putting me in a position. And then Coach Boyle, you know what I'm saying? He put like, what about Rich? And they said, absolutely, you need to be in here. And they called me. It's funny because at that time, you know what I mean, I didn't have access to my emails because things were happening in my personal life. You know, so I didn't have access to certain things. So they were trying to contact me to give me I didn't have my phone number no more, nothing. So they called my teammate. My teammate called me. And he kind of like told me a little bit, you know what I mean? I know he was happy to be able to tell me about it. And, you know, it kind of like, to me, it helped me because like not making it to the NBA and always having that in the back of my mind, what if that kind of like, you know what, that kind of solidified, you know, where I was as a hooper.
Status. Yeah. I can imagine being in the Hall of Fame anywhere. That would just be an amazing feeling. When you went back, was it nostalgic?
Yeah, I mean, at that time, Coach was doing a great job of like bringing guys back. You know what I'm saying? So every first football game, alumni would come back for that. So we would come back every year, and we were playing in the TBT, so we would go back. But you know, it's always good because people just do remember what you did when you were there. Like, oh man, I'm at the game. Like, Roby, we love watching you play when you're here. I'm like, damn, even random people to this day still remember me from what I did in college.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I remember. I remember.
So I'm like, man, I was really out here hooping, man.
Yeah,
So, you know.
I don't bring no scrubs on.
Oh, no, for sure.
Yeah, I don't bring no scrubs. I remember because I was doing radio in Missouri, so I would cover University of Missouri, and I definitely remember you having quite a few good games that I had to report on. A huge topic, and I feel like it's starting to change now with the amount of information, is former athletes going broke.
Yeah.
After they're done playing. What do you think that's attributed to?
I think because your income is cut off at a certain time. You know what I'm saying? You're used to living a lifestyle and having a certain income coming in, but there's no income coming in and there's just money going out.
Yeah.
And you can't adjust your lifestyle because you haven't really made those adjustments beforehand. And, you know, and it's hard to do as well, too. If I'm used to eating that Mastro's, it's going to be hard for me to start going back to Outback.
Yeah, it's going to be hard.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to adjust all of that kind of stuff. And, you know, it's just financial literacy and education and just knowing that your playing career is only a short period of time, man. Like that window of making that money is very, very short. And you got a long life to live after that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to really prepare for a long, not just like saving your money, but having an idea how you're going to really make money after you're done as well. It's important.
Is that something you, like, when did you start to look at that? Like, all right, my playing career is about to come to an end. I need to figure out what I'm going to do post-career.
So I got hurt. I tore my labrum the second time I went to Venezuela. And I was out pretty much the whole entire next year. So I was like, this is an opportunity for me to be able. I was like, you know, I know I wanted to retire at 35. Had a couple more years, so like, this is a good time for me to kind of figure out what I want to do. I know I didn't really want to get into coaching too much or training or doing anything like that. So, but the good thing I know, good thing about Vegas is all you gotta do is shake the right hands here, and that ended up happening to me. I met somebody. He was like, man, this is what I do. I want to like teach you about it. And if this is something you want to do, I could teach you how to make it your own business. And he did that, kind of mentored me in the business and, kind of, put me on the path and the life I live now.
Yeah. So what is it exactly that you
So we do financial services. So basically, helping guys save, grow, maintain wealth, protect wealth, things like that.
Okay. What would you say would be, I got $10,000. What would be my best investment?
It all depends on what it's for.
Would you even take a client for $10,000?
No, I mean, absolutely. But it's like, what is it for? Is it short term? Is it mid term?
I would hope it's long term. If all you got is $10,000,
like, are you going to continue to contribute to that? Or you want to let this sit there and grow?
You better contribute.
What kind of risk tolerance? So there's a lot of things that go on. So it's not just like the.
So that's why you're the expert.
Yeah. So it's like going to the doctor and be like, I coughed. What's wrong with me?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So you got to have the whole spectrum of what's going on.
Okay.
So. But that's the beauty of it. You get to learn those type of things, and you can really, just like a coach. A coach has a game plan when he walks into the game. Yeah. He knows what outcome he wants. We just got to know what outcome we want, and we just got to put the roadmap in order to get there.
Where can our audience find you?
They can find me on Instagram right now. Richard, I just changed my Instagram name. I forgot what it was, bro.
That's all right.
Because things are going on. I had to make some adjustments.
I understand, brother. Life be life. And
Richard Nova 23. That's on Instagram. You can kind of catch me on there. You can get my number or however you want to get in contact. But we just want to help as many people as we can when it comes to that.
Absolutely, man. Any last things you want to say to the audience before we go?
Just keep fighting for whatever you believe in, man, and whatever your goal is, it's obtainable. You put in the right amount of work, put yourself in the right circle, and believe in yourself, man. Anything can happen.
Man, it's been an absolute pleasure, dog.
Appreciate it.
I really appreciate you coming down, man. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, brother.
Man, that's a wrap. You can catch us on YouTube at That's What's Up TV. You can follow us on Instagram at That's What's Up TV. Make sure you subscribe, comment. Let us know what you think about this episode. We out.